how do I put this? Because now I'm going to have to try again with this roast. Christopher Robin Sabat, you make me sick. Why? Well, for those who don't know, I'll bring them up to speed. This is with Sabat's more recent misdeed. What he did this time? Well, anyone who lives in the Sacramento area who was hoping to go to the convention center to get a COVID vaccination shot, you're going to have to look elsewhere because Sabat basically strong-armed the center to drive out the vaccination, those who were giving the vaccinations, and so they could do a 2-day swap meet at some point within the next month for SAC Anime. And anyone who knows me knows I don't like Sabat for throwing Vic Mignogna under the bus a couple of years back, when the allegations about Vic being a sex predator and a pedophile, many of which were, almost all of which were false, came to the foreground and led to him getting fired by both Funimation and Rooster Teeth and losing most of his con options. That said, though, this does not focus entirely on Vic. This video is focusing on Sabat and the little stunt he pulled this week. I mean, normally it's bad enough when you have a man with a Zeus complex basically going behind his wife Tabitha's back and having affairs with some of the younger female VAs at Funimation in exchange for giving them better roles in anime that they get their hands on the license and distribute and dub over. I mean, that's bad enough. But forcing away those who are giving frontliners who are trying to help people who are scared of the COVID virus by giving them an inoculation just so you can have your con. Look, I want out of the house as much as anybody and have a convention, but I'm not going to go to I'm not going to go to that length to do it. I mean, if anyone wants to get a COVID vaccination, that's on them, not me. But I won't drive out the frontline workers of the medical field just so I can make some money for myself. I mean, Chris isn't the only one who is set up to show up at this version of SAC Anime. There's usually 3 throughout the year. 1 in the winter, 1 in the summer, and 1 in the spring or fall. I don't remember which, but I don't know. It's either 2 or 3 SAC Anime cons that are held in the year at that location. That said, it wasn't just Chris that went along with this. It was also Molly Searcy, who's a Sentai Filmwork and Funimation jump around talent, and Jason Liebert, and someone else. But again, that said, Ed, what brought this about? My guess, Sabat is sick of being cooped up and having only cons in Texas or Florida. He wanted to go out west for another con, but the caveat with that is California's been under a bullcrap lockdown. And even if you were to do this under the guidelines of social distancing, mask mandates, yada, 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 if it wasn't for the scrutiny Newsom is under right now, he wouldn't be able to pull this off. But that said, maybe we should start an RLM movement. Red Lives Matter. And for those who are wondering what a red life is, it's basically the medical and civil disturbance response. You know, hospital workers, the red lives are basically doctors, physicians, and medical staff. That's essentially what a red life would be. Because the joke is that what's the usual emblem of a medical worker? It's a red cross. It's a red medical cross in the old days, and I don't know what it is now, but it would usually be colored red. But as far as I'm concerned, this sort of thing makes me sick that Sabat would go to these lengths just to get some money for him to put in his own pocket. I mean, a massive Zeus complex, if I've ever seen one. And for those who don't know what a Zeus complex is, the Olympian deity Zeus is considered the king of the gods. And in Funimation, Sabat is the Zeus. He's a bureaucratic bully who uses his power to abuse and silence anyone who doesn't agree with him. Like Todd Habercorn, Eric Vale, Chuck Huber, Chris Aries, Stephanie Young, Jeremy Lee, and so forth. And of course, he's a notorious player with an overkill sex drive. And whether or not Sabat's own wife, Tabitha, is aware of the casting couch thing or doesn't know the dark reality behind it, or is for debate. If she does, and I'm pretty sure she is aware of it, that Chris basically demands that some of the younger talent and have sexual favors with him in exchange for him giving them more prominent roles, she's guilty by association by turning a blind eye to this. Instead of sticking up for herself and defending the sanctity of the marriage that she has this man and the integrity of their daughters, Hiro and Vera. I mean, Sabat wants to talk about a casting couch. I pray for the day when Tabitha says enough's enough and forces him to sleep on the sofa. Or kicks him out of the house, whichever comes first. That said, I stand with Vic. Now, then, and forever. Leave a comment, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Mets2128 signing out. Goodbye. Good night. Bang.